Well, hello everyone. Alejandro Tornato here, coming directly from Beaufort, Georgia. And it's my delight to be with all of you once again, connecting for another daily teaching. And today, what I want to talk to you about is building trust. It's all about building trust. If you want to build anything in your life, begin by building trust. Now, right off the gate, what I want to say to you is that trust is the single most important factor in building personal and professional relationships, and everything else will follow. But first of all, spend time and be intentional about building trust. Now, Warren Bennis called trust the glue that binds followers and leaders together. Trust is that glue that binds both. A leader with his or her followers. Trust implies accountability, predictability, and reliability. More than anything else, followers want to believe in and trust their leaders. They want to be able to say, someday, I want to be like him or her. Now, let me ask you, what is your belief about trust? Where do you put trust in that scale of values? Is trust really important for you? I hope that it is. Because I don't think that any rational thinking human being is going to follow someone whom they cannot trust. Would you? Would you engage in a journey with someone whose character is of such doubtfulness that you cannot trust that person? Would you go and let that person lead you if you cannot trust him or her? I don't think so. I don't think so. So please, please, please never forget what I say right now. That people first must believe in you as a person, and they have to trust you as a person before and way before they will begin following your leadership and trust your leadership. They will trust you as a person way before they will begin trusting you in your ability to lead them. Now, trust must be built day by day. Consistency is trust's best friend. We cannot build trust if we are not consistently working at it for not just a week or a few days, but for a very long time. You see, trust is something that you develop and continue developing all of your life. It's not something that you said, okay, well, you meet someone and in just a matter of hours, you can develop trust with that individual, or that individual can develop trust with you. It just doesn't happen that way, because what happens is sometimes first appearances, it may just look too good. But the weight of trust is seen after time of looking at a person and how that person lives his or her life, and how that person conducts himself in different situations. You see, trust, it's built over time. Trust is not something that is or happens instantaneously. It doesn't happen that way. You have to give it time. And with time, if you consistently build trust with people, then they will begin putting their trust in you. But you have to earn that trust by building trust with them. Now, some of the ways a leader can betray trust include the following. 4 things. I'm sure that there are more than 4, but these are 4 important things that if you do them, it can destroy trust. The first one is breaking promises. Breaking promises. You see, today, in order to make someone else accountable for a promise that they make, I mean, you'll probably have to go to a lawyer and draw a document and have every party sign that document. So if anything doesn't happen according to what is written in that document, then you can go, and that's why you have so many suits, so many lawsuits, especially in this country, in the United States, but I would imagine all over the world. But back many years ago, people didn't go to lawyers to sign documents, but a simple handshake was sufficient, because people, when you knew someone and you knew that you could trust someone, no documents were required, no paper signing was required, just perhaps a single handshake was required to establish a partnership. Something that you wouldn't even think or consider doing these days. Why? Well, simply because the trust standard has dropped. And people are insecure. And some people, they just don't follow through on their word. Before, a person's word was had the exact same weight as a signed document. If you said what you were going to do and you expressed it, you were committed to doing it. It doesn't happen right now. There are people who talk far too much, but they do very, very little. And I think that one of the classical examples that we can bring is really politicians. Not all of them, of course not. There are exceptions. But you see some of them. My goodness gracious. And right now, it's amazing because everything is being recorded and on video. So you can actually play the video back and you can say, yes, look at what you said. And now look at what you've done or what you're saying now versus what you said a couple of years ago. And it's just, I mean, sometimes, I mean, when I look at some of them and the things that they say and the contradictions that they have, I mean, it's better than a circus. It's more entertaining than seeing a circus. But that's such as life. That's what it is. So breaking promises is one thing that can definitely betray and destroy trust. The second is gossiping. Gossiping is a trust breaker for sure. Number 3, withholding information. Another one. And number 4, being two-faced. You see, putting one face with this person, turning around and putting a different face with another person. That's being two-faced, is not being authentic and not being trustworthy. That's why these 4 factors contribute to breaking and destroying and betraying trust. Now, these actions destroy environment of trust necessary for the growth of potential leaders. When a leader breaks trust, he must work twice as hard to regain it. And I would go even further to say that when you break trust, in some cases, not in all cases, but in some cases, you will never, ever be able to regain it back 100%. Never. So it is so much better to never break that trust. If you're building trust, and remember that building trust requires a very long time. And once you do something that could be very small and break that trust, then that trust would never be regained back to 100%. Now, the following acronym of the word trust will show you how trust can be built. And the T for the T for trust stands for time. Take time to listen and give feedback on performance. Take time to listen and give feedback on performance. The R is for respect. Give someone respect and he will return it with trust. Respect people and they will begin to trust you. The U is for unconditional positive regard. Unconditional positive regard. Show acceptance to people. Show acceptance. The S is for sensitivity. Sensitivity. Anticipate feelings and needs of the potential leader. Anticipation of feelings and needs of the potential leader. And the last T is for touch. Give encouragement. Give a handshake or a pat in the back. And perhaps now that we are on this pandemic still, and we are still going through social distancing and so forth, then be creative in doing other things that would be appropriate at this time to give encouragement. Perhaps, give someone a phone call. Have a conversation with someone. Perhaps even going out and enjoying and sharing a cup of coffee and conversation. Maintain social distance, but engage people, connect with people, encourage people. All these things will enhance trust building. Trust building. So just to close this teaching on building trust, you see, let me just share this with you, that once the followers trust the leader as a person, and I said it before, once they trust you as a person, they will also trust you in your leadership. First, we have to demonstrate that we can be trusted as people before we can be trusted as leaders. We have to be trusted as people. And when that bond is established, that bond is strong enough to begin the second stage of trust. They can trust you in your professional activity, in your leadership. Okay? So, thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure being with you once again. If you want to contact me, there is my website, alejandrojtornato.com, alejandrojtornato.com. And you can also reach me on my No Limits Living Facebook page and my Conversations with Influencers Facebook group. Also on LinkedIn. And please, all these sessions, I put them also on my YouTube channel, Alejandro J. Tornato Inspires. Alejandro J. Tornato Inspires. Look me up, subscribe to the channel, and you will find lots of videos divided into different sections. Personal growth and self-development and leadership. And I have conversations with influencers, conversations I had with great influencers and game changers. Great content there. There's another session on Alejandro and Bob Unplugged. Conversations that I have with on a regular basis once a week with my colleague Bob DiGiacomo on relevant topics, and everything is impromptu, unplugged, and I'm sure that you will enjoy that. So go, Alejandro J. Tornato Inspires YouTube channel. And also, I invite you to check my podcast, The Alejandro Tornato Show. The Alejandro Tornato Show, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other podcast platforms. And so, thank you very, very much indeed. And looking forward, to seeing you the next time. And as I always remind you, live every single moment to the fullest. Be resilient. And also be kind, be passionate, be intentional. And remember that we were not created with any limitations. So I encourage you to live your life to the very fullest of your potential and your ability, and make every single day a limitless experience. Take care. Until the next time, it's good night and be well.